Long before Bolivia became Bolivia, it was home to some of the most advanced civilizations in the Andes. One of the earliest was the Tiwanaku Empire, around 300 to 1000 CE, centered near Lake Titicaca. They built massive stone cities and intricate canal systems, without wheels or metal tools. By the 1400s, the powerful Inca Empire expanded from Peru into Bolivia, bringing with them roads, administration, and religion. Bolivia was integrated into the empire as part of Suyu, one of the four major regions of the Inca realm. But everything changed in the 1500s. In the 1530s, Francisco Pizarro and the Spanish conquistadors arrived, toppling the Inca Empire. They pushed into Bolivia, and by the 1540s, they struck silver, lots of it, in the mountain of Potosí. Potosí became one of the richest cities on earth, fueling Spain's global empire. But the cost was human. Millions of indigenous people and African slaves were forced to work in the deadly mines under brutal conditions. For 300 years, Bolivia, then called Upper Peru, was under Spanish colonial rule, governed from Lima. Revolts happened, but Spain held tight until the early 1800s, when revolution began to sweep across Latin America. Bolivia's independence fight began in 1809, when the city of Sucre declared rebellion, one of the first in South America. Over the next 16 years, guerrilla bands known as the Republicatas fought Spanish forces across the rugged landscape. In 1825, the Spanish were finally defeated by South American liberators Simón Bolívar and Antonio José de Sucre. The country was named Bolivia in Bolívar's honor, and Sucre became the first president. But freedom didn't bring stability right away. Bolivia's 19th century was chaotic, filled with coups, civil wars, and border conflicts. The new country struggled with corruption, economic inequality, and political instability. And then came the territorial losses. In the War of the Pacific, 1879 to 1884, Bolivia and Peru fought Chile. Bolivia lost its coastline, becoming landlocked. In 1903, Bolivia ceded territory to Brazil in the Acre region, a massive loss of land and resources. And in the Chaco War, 1932 to 1935, against Paraguay, Bolivia lost more land in the Gran Chaco region. These losses deeply scarred Bolivia's national identity. In 1952, Bolivia had a momentous turning point, the national revolution led by the Movimiento Nacionalista Revolucionario, MNR. The revolution nationalized tin mines, which had been controlled by a few elite families, started land reform, giving land to indigenous farmers, extended voting rights to the entire adult population, including indigenous people for the first time. It was one of Latin America's most significant social revolutions, but internal conflicts and Cold War politics soon undermined its progress. Like many Latin American nations, Bolivia fell under the shadow of military dictatorships during the Cold War. The 1970s and early 1980s saw a string of coups, political violence, and US-backed anti-communist regimes. Corruption, poverty, and foreign debt worsened. But in 1982, Bolivia returned to civilian rule and began a fragile journey toward democracy. In 2005, Bolivia made global headlines by electing Evo Morales, the country's first indigenous president. A former coca farmer and union leader, Morales promised to represent the long-marginalized Aymara and Quechua peoples. His government nationalized energy resources, reduced poverty, rewrote the constitution, officially making Bolivia a plurinational state that recognized indigenous autonomy and languages. But Morales' long rule sparked controversy. After winning a fourth term in a disputed 2019 election, massive protests broke out. Morales resigned and fled the country. Bolivia entered a brief period of political chaos before Luis Arce, a member of Morales' party, won the 2020 elections, restoring a sense of balance. Today, Bolivia remains a country of contrast, rich in natural beauty and resources, but still facing poverty, political division, and environmental challenges. Its strength lies in its people, especially its deep-rooted indigenous cultures, which continue to shape the nation's future. Bolivia's history is a whirlwind of empires, exploitation, resilience, and revolution. It's a nation that has lost territory, but gained a powerful sense of identity, and today stands as a unique voice in Latin America.